Continues to pour in from across the world to Donald Trump's radical proposal for the future of Gaza. At a meeting briefing yesterday alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Trump suggested that the U.S. could, quote, take over the Palestinian territory and turn it into a place resembling the French or Italian Riviera. He also repeated a suggestion to relocate Palestinians to other Arab countries and did not rule out U.S. military involvement. This afternoon, United Nations Secretary General took aim at Trump's proposal without directly naming him.
In the search for solutions, we must not make the problem worse. It is vital to stay true to the bedrock of international law. It is essential to avoid any form of ethnic cleansing. Any durable peace will require tangible, irreversible, and permanent progress toward the two-state solution, an end to the occupation, and the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with Gaza as an integral part. A viable sovereign Palestinian state living side by side in peace and security with Israel is the only sustainable solution for Middle East stability.
More reaction on Trump's proposal to take over Gaza. We're joined by Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley. She's a former deputy coordinator for counterterrorism and also a former U.S. ambassador to Malta, joining us today from Cleveland, Ohio. Thanks for being here and making some time for us, Ambassador. Let's start with, what does the president's recent proposal say about where America stands in the world right now?
Thank you so much for having me. I believe his proposal actually doesn't speak to where America stands. It speaks to what was in his head, which appears to be a combination of big thinking and, in short, ignoring some of the realities on the ground.
Yeah, he's missing some of the context here and some of the history here. Let's start with the legality of all of this proposal. Like in international law, we heard Antonio Gutierrez saying that we need to follow international law here. Can this even be done legally?
No, it cannot. It cannot be done without the consent of the people in that land. And so we've had very strong responses from Palestinians as well as others in the region. And hard no is what we've got so far. Now, giving the president the benefit of the doubt, indeed, a humanitarian thought, it's going to be extraordinarily difficult to clean up and clear up the munitions, the rubble, etc. from the Gaza Strip. It will be made more difficult by, of course, having to move people from place to place. But that is often what happens. And so shifting them from different parts of the Gaza Strip while certain areas are cleared was likely the original plan. And since no one is expressing interest in either moving if they're Palestinian or receiving if they're other countries, again, a non-starter.
I mean, as a career diplomat who spent over 3 decades at the State Department, what do you think about this latest foreign policy move? And I know you said it's not America's move, but he is the president and he does speak for the country at this point.
He is indeed the president, but we have seen in the past presidents having policies, making policies that are not popular with the American people. I think the only thing that has been matched by the reaction in the region has been the reaction in the United States as well. As you pointed out earlier, there have been some who are, again, giving the president the benefit of the doubt as to his motives, but you will not find Americans interested in U.S. troops going anywhere near the Gaza Strip. There are those who are already questioning the U.S.'s role, number one, in supporting the destruction of the Gaza Strip, sending money and weapons to Israel to do it, and then having to spend money to clean it all up again. You're going to have questions from taxpayers. Certainly the president's commitment to lower prices, to lower inflation, to stay out of foreign entanglements is not supported by this proposal.
You heard his press secretary intimate today. This is coming from a place of kindness. This is coming from his heart. He wants to help these people. He's talking about redeveloping Gaza, making it into the French or Italian Riviera, adding jobs, housing for people in the area. Is there any feasibility to this? Can this actually move forward?
Well, if indeed he'd added, 4 Palestinians, I think that would have gone at least some way for people thinking that, okay, he's trying to figure out the best way of doing this.
Good point.
But since it's still out there whether Palestinians would be able to return, we are watching the activity in the West Bank by the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, and the destruction that is beginning in the West Bank that was carried out in the Gaza Strip. And so far, no pushback from this administration. There's going to be a definite lack of trust in those words.
Ambassador, before I let you go, is there any way forward? You've been doing this a long time, 30 years. Is there any way forward in this region without a two-state solution, in your opinion?
There is a way forward if indeed it was a different mindset on both sides, because what it would take is a one state with everyone having equal rights. But the state and people of Israel have decided de facto that it is more important to have a Jewish state than a democratic state. And that's where we are today.
Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley is a former deputy coordinator for counterterrorism and also a former U.S. ambassador to Malta. Ambassador, we always appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.